You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football Podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. Welcome to another edition of Turkish Football Podcast. Next 15 minutes, we'll recap Week 19. Pretty much we'll recap the first half of the season here in the Turkish Super Lig. We'll talk about a little bit about the Turkish Cups, what happened today for Galatasaray in the Turkish Cup, and we'll tell you who advanced to next round. And there's a lot of matches coming up on Wednesday and Thursday in the Turkish Cup. And then after the Turkish Super League teams play their Turkish Cup games, and guess what? There's no rest time for Turkish Super League teams because after the New Year, January 7th, the second half of the season will start on January 7th on Friday. Before that, on January 5th, the Turkish Football Federation decided to take the Super Cup, Turkish Super Cup, to Qatar. The match between Beşiktaş and Antalyaspor will be played in Qatar. The Turkish Super Cup final match. This was supposed to be played in 2020 because of the COVID. This match never played. So Turkish Football Federation, in this non-stop football in Turkey, they have decided, I don't know what kind of mindset they have, they took this match to Qatar. Now, who will watch this game in Qatar? Not Beşiktaş fans. I'm sure there's not going to be any Antalyaspor fans. Right now, people are struggling in Turkey as far as getting by every day. And the Turkish Football Federation is taking this game, this Super Cup match, to Qatar. That is a disaster when Beşiktaş and Antalyaspor plays on January 5th. On that same weekend, starting 7th, January 7th, in that weekend, both of these teams have Super League matches. The first match in the second half of the season. This is unbelievable. This is awful decision by Turkish Football Federation. Wake up, Turkish Football Federation. You should be waking up with the Turkish referees, and you should be waking up with your absurd decisions in Turkish Super League. I mean it. Because what's going on with the Turkish referees so far in the Turkish first half of the season in Turkish Super League, and then this decision to take the Super Cup match to Qatar is a disaster. It's a disaster for Beşiktaş. It is a disaster for Antalyaspor when the teams has to come back and play their first match of the second half in the Turkish Super League. This is no. Turkish Football Federation, you better wake up, but are you still sleeping in the winter? Come on, wake up from the winter sleep, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, so much for my rant about the Turkish Football Federation and Turkish referees in general. You know, every weekend, every podcast, every game, the Turkish referees has been awful. And I talked about this. This was the case in Week 19 again. And Week 19 ended. One thing, probably through the 19 weeks, we see one team is staying strong. Trabzonspor, only losing one match, even though their last match at home against another very formed team, Başakşehir. They tied at home, but let's face it, they are on top of the Turkish Super Lig, and they deserve this. Trabzonspor on top of the Turkish Super Lig after first half, after 19 matches with 46 points, they have scored the most goal in the Turkish Super League and second form team in the Turkish Super League is the second place team, which is Konyaspor with 39 points, and they are probably, after Trabzonspor, I would say last 10 matches, they're probably the best team. If we look at the last 10 form sheet standings, Konyaspor is the best team out there right now in their last 10 matches in the Turkish Super League. Another team that I have talked a lot about this in my podcast. Remember when they start the season, Başakşehir, they were in the relegation zone, just like Adana Demirspor. They haven't won any points for like week 4. And then guess what? At the week 8, they had only 6 points and they were in the 15th place, Başakşehir. After Emre Belezoğlu took the team in week 9, they have been moving up rapidly. And now they are in the 3rd place with 33 points. So ever since Emre Belezoğlu took the team in the week 9 when they beat Beşiktaş I believe the score was 3-2. After that win against Beşiktaş, they have not lost a match in the Turkish Super League. They won, they have a couple draws, but they were eliminated by lower team in the Turkish Cup a couple weeks ago. So, but it's a kudos to Istanbul Başakşehir and kudos to Emre Belezoğlu because taking the team from the 15th place and bringing up to 3rd place on top of Fenerbahçe with 33 points, that is a hell of a accomplishment. So you have to give your kudos to those guys. Başakşehir, they did a hell of a job coming back from the relegation zone and moving up to 3rd place at the end of the first half. Now, what happened to the big guns of Istanbul? Big three. Remember, we talk about the Istanbul's biggest 3 teams. Galatasaray, Fenerbahçe, Beşiktaş. Well, out of those 3, right now, if you look at the standings, even though Fenerbahçe fired their coach, they have a caretaker coach from the youth team. They are in a better place than Beşiktaş and Galatasaray. Fenerbahçe is in 4th place with 32 points. Beşiktaş is in 9th place with 28 points. And Galatasaray is in 10th place with 27 points. Now, there's a lot of records this first half of the season. It is the probably first time in a long time that we have never seen a top team finishing with 46 points at the end of first half. That is a good accomplishment by Trabzonspor and their coach Abdullah Avcı. Another record, this is negative record, Galatasaray has never been so bad in the Turkish Super League and finishing the first half of the season in 10th place. This is awful. So, and now, today, I'm going to get to that match. They were eliminated by lower team in the Turkish Cup with the penalty kicks, and they are out of the Turkish Cup. One thing, while I'm talking about the Galatasaray, let's talk about they did fantastic in the Europa League. They were the group leaders. They beat a lot of teams at home and away, and they did not lose match in the Europa League matches. But I've been saying this, the rotations, what happened between the league and Europa matches, it killed Galatasaray's play schedule in the Turkish Super Lig. They did not play the football that they were playing in the Europa matches. When they came back to Turkey to play Turkish Super League matches, they have really bad time. This just past week, in the week 19, after 7 weeks, they won this match against Antalyaspor this past weekend. So Galatasaray has a problem. And what I heard just after the Denizlispor Galatasaray match, Fatih Terim in the press conference, he said he will talk to CEO, President, Galatasaray team president. They will have a meeting. I don't know if he's going to resign, but the way that he was talking after the match in the press conference, I did not see Fatih Terim very comfortable. I know Fatih Terim for a long time, since 1990s. If Fatih Terim didn't do good in the Europa League matches this season, with the bad record right now in the Turkish Super League, and then eliminated by lower team in the Turkish Cup, I think he would have resigned last night. But there's some part of Galatasaray fans, they still like him to stay with the team because he haven't did good in the Europa League matches, and then finishing the group on top, beating Lazio, and then getting the first place. I think they're going to give him a chance until he finishes his Europa League competition matches. But I bet you, after the end of this season, because of his age and because of the turmoil the Galatasaray club is in, I think it's going to be tough for him to stay with Galatasaray team. Well, I hope that doesn't happen, but you never know. So pretty much I talked about, I know this podcast is 15 minutes, and almost I didn't give you all the results, but I talked about in general what happened. But those are the teams that we have to talk about mostly. Trabzonspor, Konyaspor and Başakşehir are the most formed team in the Turkish Super League. And the bottom, we talked about Altay. I mentioned to you, they have not won a match in their last 10 matches. That is a disaster. Remember, when the league started, first couple weeks, Altay started very good. They were on top of the Turkish Super League. And then for a while, Fenerbahçe took it. Beşiktaş took the first place. And then starting week 9, Trabzonspor took the first place. And they never looked back ever since Trabzonspor capturing the first place for good in the week 9. They ended the first half of the season on top with 46 points. So listen to my podcast, wherever you listen to my podcast. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. We'll talk to you before January 7th matches. See you. Bye-bye.